Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Joe Quintero, and I am the current acting president of International Thespian Troupe 4031. That statement alone is something I never thought I'd get the chance to say, and at the same time, it fills me with such immense pride and joy. I am here today to talk to you about theater and what it's done for me, and hopefully, you'll leave tonight with a new view of it. Let's start with something simple. What is theater? Any answers? If your hand is up, you can put it down. I cannot see anything with this blinding spotlight. Now, I could give you Webster's dictionary definition of theater, but that would most likely be something dull, like the activity or profession of acting, writing, directing plays. This is not a fun definition. It's boring. And most people don't like boring, especially not me. So I'm going to give you my definition of theater. A world where people can creatively and freely express themselves as writers, directors, actors, and so much more. That's my definition. Let me tell you a quick story. When I first joined this program my freshman year, I wasn't very happy with myself. I didn't have many friends. I was soft-spoken and only interacted with people when I absolutely had to. I didn't have a passion, something I could pour my heart into every single day. Quite simply, I didn't like being Joe Quintero. But then, on October 31st, 2013, I went, by myself of course, because I didn't have any friends, to our school's production of Dracula. I remember sitting in those seats, and I realized what theater could do for me. If I was up on that stage, I could be anyone. I could be anything. I didn't have to be Joe Quintero and deal with whatever I was dealing with at the time. The idea and the concept of that made me so excited and giddy that I immediately started to better myself as a performer and started auditioning for every single thing that I could. Fast forward a little bit in time, and now I've integrated myself into the program more. I've made friends with some of the most talented and creative people that I had ever met, that when I saw how talented and how driven they were, it lit a fire in me to be just as good as them, if not push myself to be even better. The people I made friends with in this program became my family. Some of them are here tonight, and I am beyond words to tell them how grateful I am for all of them. They're my brothers and my sisters. I can trade ideas and concepts, and we bounce off each other in ways that you can't imagine. We trade ideas on how to direct certain scenes, how a certain character might deliver his line, or even how to stand and walk on the stage as a character. We have this connection that's unlike any other. Freshman year in the spring, I went to my first competition. The category I was in was modern Shakespeare. I remember so vividly getting off the bus and being surrounded. It was incredible. We would go on to make the top 10 finalists, placing 6 out of 56 competitors. That is one of my proudest achievements. In a few weeks, I will be heading to my final competition as a member of Valencia High School. The category I'm competing in, modern Shakespeare. The very same one, just 3 years later. Theater became even more so my whole life after that first competition. I began reading plays and learning about people who I had never met, and I started relating to characters who didn't exist, but they felt real to me because we were all bound by this universe called theater, and it was incredible. It was as if that family was getting bigger. In the theater, there are so many different levels of engagement, and it's different for everyone. The way a director engages with an actor is completely different than the way an actor would engage with another actor, or an actor engages with a techie backstage, or a techie backstage engages with another techie backstage. We're like a big clock. We're all these little cogs and gears, and we're part of a much bigger mechanism, but we all make this much bigger, beautiful thing. And when something's a little off, it can still work, sure, but you can kind of tell something's off. But when everyone's doing their job, and it's perfect, it makes this wonderful thing that's great for so many people. After I felt comfortable about myself as an actor on the stage, I brought it to my outside life as well. I realized that's where I felt most comfortable, on the stage. So, I made the whole world my stage, and I simply refused to leave. To me, This is another performance. I'm in my tacky costume, I have my lines memorized, I've got blocking just like any other performance. I'm supposed to move slightly stage right here and make a flowing hand gesture, because that's how I live my life, like a performance. I see it in every aspect of my life now. And now I know there are plenty of people that say, well, you can't have your life be a performance because life isn't scripted. To them, I say, that's the improv part of life, where you don't know what's going to happen, but you are still just as excited and you're ready to perform. It's a part of life. You just don't know your lines yet. I learned a very important lesson, spending 4 years of dedication on this stage, that every time I related to a story or could feel what a character was feeling, I was finding out more about myself. I was finding where I stood on certain topics and issues, what I believed in personally, and my own ideologies. Theater was helping me find who I was, and it was my home. I still can't believe that me, the quiet, awkward freshman who wouldn't even say 300 words a day, is now standing in front of you, averaging around 13,000, talking to all of you about how passionate he is about theater, how he's the president of the program, and how it's quite literally the greatest thing to ever come into his life. It wasn't who I was when I started, but it got me to where I was meant to be. Theater showed me that I have no limitations and that I am capable of doing anything. Theater showed me that I want to go on later in life and become an educator and have the same impact on some kid's life that my mentor, Grace Stanton, had on mine. I will never be able to thank her and everyone that I've met on this wonderful journey enough for everything they've ever done for me. This program that I hold so dearly to my heart taught me how to engage with other people, and even how to engage with myself by pretending that I wasn't myself. I am a huge advocate of the theater, and I firmly believe that it is as integral to a school's curriculum as anything else. If theater is your passion, pursue it. Chase it with your whole heart. And if you don't know, try it. You'll be amazed what theater can do for you. I mean, look what it did for me. Because of theater, I can now proudly stand in front of each and every one of you today and say with the utmost confidence that I am Joe Quintero, and theater changed my life for the better. Hope you enjoyed your time in my home tonight. Thank you. Have a good night.